Look up at the sky next time you are driving down a highway. You will see massive metal towers stretching for miles, carrying thick cables that hum with enough electricity to power an entire city. If you were to open up the wires inside your walls at home, you would find shiny, reddish copper. But those giant lines in the sky are almost never made of copper. Instead, they are made of aluminum, a metal we usually associate with soda cans and kitchen foil. If copper is the undisputed king of conductivity, why is it practically banned from the world's most important power grids? How can a metal that is significantly weaker and less efficient actually save billions of dollars in construction costs? And what is the secret steel heart hidden inside almost every high-voltage cable you see above your head? We are going to uncover the hidden physics and economics that keep your lights on, and find out what exactly is the reason for this strange engineering choice. When you think of high-quality electronics, you think of copper. You would be right to assume it is the superior material for moving electricity. In a typical house, copper is king because it has very low resistance. This means electricity flows through it easily without losing much energy as heat. If you had a copper wire and an aluminum wire of the exact same size, the copper one would carry about 40% more power. On paper, this makes copper look like the perfect candidate for long-distance transmission. However, engineers don't just look at the wires. They have to look at the massive towers holding them up. This is where copper's greatest strength becomes its biggest weakness. The most critical reason aluminum is preferred for power lines is weight. Aluminum is about 3 times lighter than copper. This changes everything when you are stringing thousands of miles of cable across a country. Imagine trying to hold up a heavy copper cable over a gap of 1,000 feet. The weight of the metal itself would cause it to sag toward the ground. To keep it safe and high in the air, you would need massive, incredibly strong steel towers spaced very close together. Because aluminum is so light, engineers can build towers that are lighter, cheaper, and spaced much further apart. By choosing the lighter metal, we can use fewer towers to cover the same distance, which saves an enormous amount of money and labor. Then, there is the issue of the price tag. Copper is expensive, often costing 3 to 4 times more than aluminum per kilogram. When you are building a national power grid that requires millions of tons of metal, that price difference becomes astronomical. Aluminum is one of the most abundant elements in the Earth's crust, making it much easier and cheaper to mine and refine. If we insisted on using copper for all our high-voltage lines, the cost of building the infrastructure would skyrocket, and those costs would eventually show up as a much higher number on your monthly electricity bill. Aluminum offers the perfect balance between performance and price. You might wonder how we deal with the fact that aluminum isn't as good at conducting electricity. The solution is surprisingly simple. We just make the wires thicker. By increasing the size of the aluminum cable, engineers can match the electrical performance of a smaller copper wire. The fascinating part is that even though the aluminum cable is physically larger, it is still lighter than the thinner copper equivalent. It is easier to transport, easier to pull over mountains, and easier to install. This makes it a rare win-win in the world of engineering. Power lines are constantly exposed to the elements, from salty sea air to pouring rain. While copper eventually turns green and corrodes over decades, aluminum has a built-in defense mechanism. As soon as aluminum is exposed to the air, it forms a thin, invisible layer of aluminum oxide. This layer acts like a suit of armor, preventing oxygen from reaching the metal underneath and stopping rust in its tracks. This protective barrier ensures that power lines can sit out in the rain and wind for 40 or 50 years without losing their ability to carry power. If you were to cut a high-voltage power line in half, you would see that it isn't actually a solid bar of aluminum. Most lines use a design called ACSR, which stands for Aluminum Conductor Steel Reinforced. Because aluminum is a soft metal, it isn't very strong on its own. If you stretched it over a long distance, it might snap under its own weight or the weight of winter ice. To solve this, engineers put a core of high-strength steel wires in the very center of the cable. The steel provides the spine that keeps the wire from breaking, while the outer layers of aluminum handle the job of carrying the electricity. It is a perfect hybrid of strength and conductivity. There is also an environmental benefit to this choice. Aluminum is one of the most recyclable materials on the planet. It can be melted down and reused over and over again, with almost no loss in quality. Since power grids are massive, being able to recycle the metal at the end of its life makes the whole system more sustainable. Because the materials are lighter to transport, it takes much less fuel to move them from the factory to the construction site. Aluminum might not be the best conductor in a laboratory, but in the real world, it is the only metal that makes sense for the sky. It is light enough to fly, cheap enough to build, and smart enough to protect itself from the weather. So, the next time you see those long silver lines stretching toward the horizon, remember that they aren't just wires. They are a carefully engineered balance of physics and economics that keeps our modern world running. Thank you for watching What Exactly Is? If you enjoyed this, please like the video and subscribe to join our journey of discovery. We will see you in the next one.